Strong opening, though, coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses. Grimstroke has been one of the top supports, especially because of the fact that he's paired just so well with anyone that has any sort of mobility, extra lockdown. You just throw the Inkswell on them, Ember Spirit goes zips on in there, and follows up with Searing Chains. Just good lockdown, so
Yep.
pretty standard opening, I think, for the side of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I mean, as standard as it gets, these are the two most picked heroes in the BTS Pro Series overall. So they're like the two most picked. And like you said, I think they do really have pretty good synergy between each other too. Just like Ink Swelling and Ember Spirit is very annoying. I mean, it makes this Remnant speed go like above haste, and you have the chains to set up for the Ink Swell. It's pretty damn nice.
I've been seeing more
Nature's
and more of this
Nyx.
Nyx assassin popping up as well, it seems. It wasn't that popular earlier on, but it's definitely rising lately. Is that just in response to, the fact that Grimstrokes tends to sit on further back lines, Ember Spirit's fairly squishy.
I think so. I think definitely as a response to Ember, this is a classic counter where sure with a lot of heroes, Ember Spirit's quite difficult to catch because he can just remnant away. You can walk up to him, try to get him, and he'll sleight of fist. And then during the sleight of fist, he's gone. It's can feel kind of BS sometimes. But with the Nyx Assassin, it's very easy to catch him out with the Spike Carapace and then follow up with the stun. So Nyx, classic counter. Like you said, Grimstroke, Nyx is definitely pretty solid against that as well. The little ink tendrils on, what's it called? The Inkswell. I'm pretty sure that would stun Grimstroke. If not, you can still catch him when he presses his Q and just do a huge amount of damage to him.
Mhm.
And follow up with like the Nyx stun. So definitely just a solid Nyx game and great setup for Nature's Prophet. You have this Nyx running around enemy jungle scouting, and all of a sudden a Nature's TP's in, maybe with like a +1 who's following the Nyx. It really feels like when you have these two heroes on your team, you can get ganked anywhere, and the whole team can show up.
I've been seeing that happen pretty recently, seeing a lot of people, those Power Ranger TPs where everybody just shows up all together
Wow.
recently.
They
They
just
picked
picked
that
Pugna
into,
into Nyx.
yeah, yep. They just picked it into a Nyx assassin.
I gotta say, Bulba might have the biggest balls in North America. Legitimately. I don't know how he gets out of bed in the morning. What a maniac. What's the combo?
Well, I don't know. Is that going to be a Bulba? Pugna? Just send it. No, because they have a Beastmaster. What am I saying?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they have been kind of switching off Crit and Bulba a little bit in terms of their roles, so maybe. But yeah, I mean that's really ballsy. It's interesting though to see high tier drafters picking into counters because they know that they want the hero for the game. They don't care if
Mhm.
it's countered. They had some idea in mind, and maybe it's this like push strat, this kind of early game. We have Grimstroke, we have Ember Spirit. We're gonna win by fighting you, but then we're gonna have Pugna Beastmaster who can take your towers. Like this, they just really wanted to stick to the strat, I guess.
And then you find out later on that Bulba accidentally clicked it, and all that is null and void. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I just don't understand. I don't
Well, I mean,
understand.
most people, yeah. Again, you see a Nyx assassin, you don't pick a Pugna, you don't pick a Leshreck. Like this.
I'm trying to figure out what the synergy, like what's like the strat that you need to pick to a counter like this. What is the strat? Did they want the Lycan? Is that a counter Lycan? A block pick?
I don't know.
Are they 5-man push strat?
Could be. That's definitely possible.
So I mean, both sides have a lot of push. They have Invoker, strong early game. If you go Quas Wex, you can throw Alacrity, Solar Crest on like the Lycan. You have Nature's Prophet summons. You have Lycan summons, Beastmaster summons, Pugna Q, Ember Spirit fights a lot. Like there's going to be a lot of action in this game for sure.
Trying to figure out like what's because you've got Nines Invoker already. You've got Moo on Lycan. Most likely Moo's on the Nyx Assassin. Is that a 5 natures or is that an off lane
It could
natures
be a
for
5
business
natures.
assets?
It could be a 5. I think definitely. It could be either. We'll okay, banning Ursa. So definitely a 5 natures.
Okay.
Timber into Pugna Ember can be a little bit rough, but you know at least with these picks that there isn't enough damage to kill you in the early game. Of course, barring this last pick here, you can pick some sort of Timber counter. They could Monkey King, but honestly, there's ways to skill and play Timber Saw to deal with the Monkey King. It's pretty annoying playing Monkey and Timber just like cuts your tree. But I imagine the pick will probably be something like Monkey King, Gyro, maybe.
Yeah, because you do have the option, right?
magic
You've got a
damage.
Beastmaster, you've got a Pugna. These are two heroes that can, hit buildings early on if needed. Kind of interesting drafts, though, coming out from both of these teams right now. Let's see, final pickup. Monkey King, like you said.
They do go for the Monkey, yeah. That makes sense. Just give the Timber a hard time. The thing with Monkey, too, is that no matter what core matchup you get with the Monkey King, like you can be in lane against Lycan, you can be in lane against Timber, and you're going to have a good time. Like you can kill all the Lycan summons with a big Q. You can, of course, any melee hero, Monkey King is going to just completely devastate in lane. And yeah, it's a solid Monkey King game. Other than the fact that Invoker is definitely one of the better heroes against it. Once you pick up like the Vessel and you put Cold Snap on the Monkey, it's very, very difficult for him to do anything until he's got, of course, like some sort of BKB.
So which team are we favoring right now if we look at the drafts? Are we favoring, the fact that Evil Geniuses has this like nice pushing potential with, the Pugna and of course Beastmaster, or are we liking what Business Associates is throwing down here? They also have quite the lineup. They've got a really good ganking potential with being able to send Fear and Moose off with me, maybe +1, whether it's 9 or Brax or whatever. What are we digging?
I would say draft wise, I kind of dig the EG draft. Other than the Pugna, I'm not a fan of the Pugna. Maybe it's like they'll play around the ward or something like that, and it's not really like the old counter because Pugna's good for different reasons now. But I feel like Beast against Lycan, that's a decent matchup for Beast. Mid lane, you have Ember Invoker. That's probably 50-50. People have gotten really good at playing Ember versus this like counter because of course Invoker can take off the Ember shield, but people just go Searing Chains. And then Timber, of course, loses to Monkey King. So I'm really feeling like in terms of lane matchups that EG has the upper edge, but whichever team outskills the other in the lanes is 100% going to snowball. Both of these teams have insane push lineups.
I feel like it's gotten so incredibly hard now to make any sort of a comeback if you fail that laning phase as well, with the way that the new patch works.
It really, really does feel that way. And not great. Not feeling good in pubs. I'll just say that.
I like that Arteezy's playing, Monkey King, and he's also turned into his courier, which I believe is a baboon.
He's just like, it's apeception right now, this guy.
There's a lot of booty coming off of this one right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He just squats, for sure. Oh,
I found him.
Battle of the Apes.
He's having fun, man. He's having a good time. I like it. I can appreciate it, Look at that. Crits in, have fun.
I was
some good old-fashioned NA Dota.
I was playing a pub with Quinn the other day, and he was really pissed off that the courier with Monkey King, where when you transform into it, you're like huge. Mm-hmm. The one that it like looks like you're like a huge version of the courier.
I don't think I've seen that actually.
You probably have. It's the one where he's like riding on a broomstick, I think.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen it, but I know which courier you're talking about.
It's ridiculous looking. He was like, why is it that I transform right next to this courier and I don't turn into this one? Like, he was so mad. He said that he went out and he specifically bought that courier so that he could transform into it to look dumb. He's not trying to like min-max to be like the smallest, most subtle courier. He wants like
wants to be the largest, just like, oh, look at me.
Yes.
Come get me, you won't.
That's how pro players think, people. This is it.
Hey, they gotta enjoy what they do, and if they get joy out of becoming a massive courier, who are we to say that they can't do that?
Mid lane, Ryoya does start with the Flame Guard. It's just so nice to get that level 2. Bot lane, of course. Okay. Arteezy started with Boundless Strike. I've never seen that. But this guy is the master of matchups, so you know clearly he's played this before. He knows what's up.
Ooh, double whammy there, making sure that that Stroke of Fate hits Brax and Moose. Brax gonna have to Timber Chain himself out here.
Yeah, he's just juking it up. They're doing some creep wave shenanigans here, so both teams actually are.
God, I feel like that's all we see lately is creep wave shenanigans.
It's just so good. It's just so good. You can pick for the mid game if you do this. You don't need to pick to win lanes if you just 50-50 the lanes by cutting them. Let's see.
It's fairly calm though otherwise, you know, you can see in the top
Pretty chill,
that,
yeah. I mean, the creep shenanigans definitely makes it more of a chill start because nobody's laning. Like mid is obviously a wash in the first couple of waves, and then now the side lanes are as well. So get on that, Valve. This is getting ridiculous. Come on.
Valve just gave you a patch that's reverting it back to, what did you say, like 2016?
Yeah,
What more do you want, Jenkins?
Did you see that graphic on Reddit where it showed the difference, and we're now for like the killing sprees, we're actually lower than before 7.25.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
Other than the first couple of kills, like I think for like just a regular killing spree, you get more now, but it's by a small margin.
Huh.
So we're actually just back. We're reverted, like you said.
It's really crazy to think about that. This is probably the least amount of writing for a patch, and it is actually such a huge change.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go look backwards and reassess, and then once they actually, you know, start changing things up with items and heroes, it's gonna be even crazier. But that's why we love Dota, right? The fact that, you know, it's not stagnant. It doesn't stay the same time after time after time.
Patches are like Christmas. I love patches. And then I scroll down and I control F for Pudge.
I was about to say, and then you see that Pudge got nerfed again, and you are a sad panda.
And then I'm disappointed, extremely disappointed, and then I realize, it really is like Christmas with my family.
Oof. That got a little dark there, Jenkins.
You die.
0-0. 3 minutes in. NA Dota.
NA Dota. Just a lot of farming, trading a little bit, making your own lanes of your moves over here, dragging these creeps over.
Really, not many of these heroes are super kill hungry in the early game. I mean, you got Pugna 4, you got a Nyx 4. These heroes are not getting too many kills. They need some levels. Bulba is going axes. I'm glad to see this because I got flamed in a pub the other day for going axes on Beastmaster.
When do you not get flamed in pubs though, Jenkins? I was watching Grant stream last night. I was watching that game. I think it was you and Universe were in a match in Eternal Envy.
Okay, that was not cool. That one was I was having a fine game. That was fine. We had some questionable supports in that game. I'm not gonna name names. But there was some shenanigans going on. Now look at Brax, he's just cutting. What's the point in laning? There's a Monkey King. Doubles up the wave, he's got his boots, he's happy.
What are they really going to do? The only thing that kind of sucks here is the fact that, you know, you do have a Nyx Assassin who is not the strongest laner, and, you know, Timbersaw really wants those levels. So where's little Moose supposed to get these levels? He doesn't want to leech him away from his Timber. Possible.
Yeah, it's hard against it's hard when you have some creep cutter as a pause for. There's a lot of places you can go stack, you can go get runes, you can pull the wave. There's definitely ways, but whenever you neuter a support like this, you definitely want to give them a little bit of free time to themselves, a little bit of me time to get some levels, like after the laning stage is over.
I feel like Timber kind of just doesn't move, so to speak. Like, he just kind of keeps... What? Okay, Brax.
Oh, what a world.
The tip.
What a world we live in.
Indeed.
You know, I love the fact that people have gotten so good at this game that now basically everybody realizes that the least dangerous place on the map is actually the enemy base, because why the hell would they want to be there?
That's
You
a
know?
good point.
So really, if you want to run to safety, you should run towards the enemy base, not towards yours. Because they want to go towards your base, because that's the whole point. It's called Defense of the Ancients. They're trying to kill your ancient.
Oh, man. Go get that courier, Moose. Moose! Moose, what are you doing? Moose doesn't care. Fear's just jungling the side camp. Fly's like, what is happening? Why are there so many summons? What's going on?
Love this timing. 5 minutes, they got the catapults. Dispelled the shield, too, so it's going to be really hard for Ryoya to defend this.
Especially with all the backup coming in the form of
This-
treants and whatnot. You've got Moose
Yeah.
nearby. This is a dead tower.
I love this. I love this from business. This is so smart. I like to see teams doing this, where they meet up their pause for to just run mid. And sure, they're not getting any kills. It's 0-0, right? But look at the damage they got on the tower from that. That thing is almost dead. And all it took was a
surprised.
pause 5 natures.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go a little bit harder on it, but I guess, you know, you don't have to. So you do see a smoke coming out. Looks like they're going to try to get rid of Brax over here. Brax just playing around. Boundless does come out. They'll follow up, though. We've got the Ink Swell. Ryoya's going to be right on his butt. And Brax doesn't have any mana right now, so
Oh,
he
no, he's so
very
sad.
likely is going to fall here. Yeah, that's going to be our first blood going over to Arteezy. They finally dealt with that, but over in the mid lane, Fly has been left all alone, no one to help him. They'll get the kill on him, and they should get the kill on the tower. Do they go in after Ryoya? Nope, he's just gonna run away. And among us indeed, Pythian.
Ryoya's got a regen. He's so happy. Getting a regen on mid at less than 10 minutes is just one of the nicest things. You can just be such an idiot with your mana and then not get punished for it. It's always so
I mean, it's
great.
even better now because you can play like a little bit more like a madman, even if you got that streak because of the kill streak gold being reduced by 50% now.
Yep, definitely.
So it feels really good if you're like a very tempo controlling mid player.
Yep, 100%.
9.
Lots of those getting picked right now.
Yeah, the Quap especially. It's a big buff to players like that.
I
They're
do have to
very,
say,
very-
I have been playing Death Prophet, and it does feel kind of bad to not one-hit range creeps with the Death Prophet Q now, because of you don't get the int, the
Little
int
buff.
spell amp. Yeah, like so you actually have to hit a range creep before nuking and one-hitting it, which means that that's an extra like 0.5 seconds, which in Dota actually matters. You can die, you know, you can die in that amount of time.
Well, I like this coming out from the side of Business Associates. It is go time. Moo has left that top lane. He says, all right, I'm going to go take over this jungle. I'm going to start putting more pressure on the towers.
You know what I love
Yeah.
about Moo? That he can
What?
play both. He can play both extremes. He can play like the hard farming heroes and just AFK, and he's also really good at playing the heroes that are super active.
Oh, gosh.
Moo's and 9,
Yep.
the duo, the dynamic duo.
Well, that's what we talked about, right? Is the fact that, you know, the Moo's plus, you know, the Nature's Prophet if necessary. If you're just kind of hanging out, he's looking for couriers, I think. Hoping. Oh, there it is. There's a courier. Fear! Fear, you fool!
No, I like this. I really like this actually. He doesn't want to reveal the ward. That's like next level smart. I know it's like such a debate.
Oh, he did just drop the word. Okay, I thought he had already had it up there and was like literally just hanging out for the courier snipe, but Cold Snap connects on Ryoya, but not the tornado here. Fear. It's like the jump coming out here from Arteezy. And one more hit should do the trick. Fly will grab it up. Moo's now limping away along with 9.
All of business are here. This is just a 5v5 mid. This looks like a Herald pub.
Nice. But 10-minute runes will spawn.
Blubba's build is interesting. So he went Soul Ring, 2 and Axes for just the laning to kill the wolves, I suppose. And then he's maxing Call of the Wild and Interbeast. Okay, interesting. He is a Beastmaster player extraordinaire, so it's so sad being Timber versus Monkey. What do you do?
Keep your distance for the most
Ah,
part.
you hit me twice. Now I have to stand here and wait. Ah, I love waiting.
There are plenty
Fear?
of heroes in the vicinity, though.
GG, Fear.
Yep.
Ryoya with the KS, of course. Typical mid laner. Do you ever have mid laners come to your lane and gank, and then you
And they'll
like
take all your farm.
you happen to get the kill, and then they're like, "Dude, give me the kill." It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
all the
Why
time.
why can't you just be happy that we got a kill?
All the time, but hold that thought because our TC bottom lane here got the timber, they've got 9, they've got the spirit vessel, and that's a very dead Monkey King. Now moves, forced to move back. Does have the spike carapace, he's gonna pop it over here, thinking that Ryoya is gonna jump in. Gets that slide off. Oh, move! Oh, he is gonna fall there. No more moves, but now Ryoya, does he have the backup? In comes Bulba, they've got the ink swell. They're hunting, they're trying to find 9 over here in the corner that will be able to drop the roar. And they'll find another kill on 9 Fear. Now he needs to get out of here. Brax is here. He's trying to help him out. They do manage to take down Ryoya, thanks to that Wrath of Nature. And it looks like they're going to try that one tree.
The one
left
tree,
there.
the lone tree. Good lord. Moo has ulti now. They can go for this. I think he just...
You can just take this tower at this point. You've taken down...
Maybe. It doesn't look like he's that interested in committing. I guess because everybody's respawned, he's playing it safe.
That's true. It's only 12 minutes into the game, despite the acceleration feeling.
Yeah, lots of action.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny, you know, they've taken both the tier 1s down in the bottom lane and the middle, but still have the tier 1 top. Haven't put a high priority on that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Fear. Yeah, you're not getting out of this. Oh. Do you see how Crit paused? He was like, I
Yeah.
gotta give it over to Arteezy.
Because he knows that his carry's gonna baby rage if he doesn't get the kill. I need this kill for my game, guys. Goddamn core players, man.
You're a core player, technically.
No, offlane's not a real core.
That's not what I hear if you talk to offlaners.
Yeah, whatever.
Looks like 9
You're-
feels like
you're
he
not my
wants
real
to
mom.
make some moves, but he's gonna do +1. It's gonna be moves, making his rotation here.
He's got the
can
plus
see
one, he's got
Fear's
the
here.
natures, the global.
Oh, but there's Crit nearby. There's also Arteezy. Look at the roar. They've got their eyes over here on Fear. They're gonna maybe jump in for more here as Ryoya jumps in, moves. He's forced to
Nice
run
double stun.
away, but I don't think he's gonna be able to make it as Bulba gets himself a double kill.
I gotta say, this Pugna is not seeming hindered at all by the Nyx assassin, but... Oh, Brax! Oh god, if he got solo killed, that would feel really bad.
By that little Pugna that we're just talking about.
What a ridiculous hero.
Look at Crit! Look at Crit! He really wants to go after him. I love it. But
Crit's
in comes
build
the
is-
Lycan.
Oh boy.
Crapify comes out. Fear is nearby. He'll be able to go tree him up. They'll grab the tower. And they'll go right back in again after Crit. They're trying to body block Moo. He's got all of these summons, all of these just little guys here. Another Decrepify. Brax coming in. Soulbind's gonna get thrown out too. They have to move as one, but the little wolf gets the final nibble on the Pugna. And there's something going on in the mid lane too. Yeah, it looks like Moo's getting into position, has a nice kill. Will be able to hit 2. And they just take the tier 1 and they run away. Tornado will connect though. Over here onto Bulba. Arteezy up on the trees. Without the Boundless.
Nice tree block.
Jumps right back down again. He's got his eyes over here onto Brax. Brax gonna be able to just dodge up over onto the high ground. And now Arteezy, he's sitting on the low ground. Ryoya chasing after 9. Brax has to get out of there. He's got to get out of there really fast. That slight. He's trying. He's trying to build up something here, but he just cannot escape from Ryoya as he finds him.
Moo has no ulti. It's a really bad time to fight without the Lycan ulti. You can't do it. Lycan is such a useless hero without ult. He can't do anything. So you typically just have to dodge until he has his ult up.
Was it necessary to even take that fight though? Like they just took the tier 2 bottom. It's the tier 1 mid, but they already had the enemy tier 1. Could they have just, you know, sacked it?
I guess maybe what it was is they were looking to do like a small committal sort of thing, and then I really like that Fear keeps TPing to place this ward. I'm sorry, it's really cool. And then he's not sniping couriers, but he just continually places it. I think that's really cool. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's super necessary, but I think it was probably a small committal, and then they kind of went in over their heads a little bit, which can happen. Arteezy's been in the right place at the right time. They're not expecting a Monkey King to be so active.
They
But he's
figured
always
out
there
they're
in
placing
trees.
vision.
Got the double invis hunting with the natures to TP.
They're gonna find quite a few people here. Brax, first one to be found
Nice
out.
stun.
Very nice stun coming out here from Moose. Follow up with that tornado, but the Soulbind coming through Moose. He can't get away from Brax fast enough. They're just tied up together. They're gonna follow, and Moo is here. He wants to come in. It looks like Fear's gonna be the next one to fall. Moose should be able to run away, but it doesn't feel like they can take this fight. Side of business is, oh, Moose, you were so close to freedom, my dude. So close.
Fear just keeps TPing in and dying immediately. Oh, feels bad, man. We've all been there. Anybody who plays Nature's 5 knows how that feels. You just don't expect the entire enemy team to turn and kill you. But it's just so easy for them.
I want to say that back when Moose was playing on some of the South American teams, I believe he would get drafted the Nature's Prophet fairly commonly, and
yes,
he would just get like so sacked half the time. Like, poor guy. He just become a warding.
See, it's a good hero to do that on. Like, you can pick up these aura items and get very tanky, and then it's not worth it for the enemy team to kill you. But EG has so much damage. They have all the beast summons. They have Pugna who's doing a bajillion damage. He's got his Veil of Discord, Max Decrepify, Life Drain on a 7-second cooldown. Thanks for that, Ice Toad. Really appreciate that one. Like, there's too much damage, you know? It's really hard to be a tank. Even Brax is dying in these fights. It's hard for him. He can't live life.
Definitely can't. Nine over here has found so many of the evil geniuses. He will just get obliterated. Nice quick pick off here.
It's too easy.
TZ is just already by the base.
Such
They
annoying.
just gotta let him get
pushing.
free damage on there. Yeah.
I mean, without 9 being alive, Arteezy has nothing to fear. There's nobody else that kills him.
That's true.
Moose is too small. He's a small boy. 9 is the only threat.
Well, he's gonna be back up in about 5 seconds, so we'll rely heavily on Brax just throwing out that shock. I'm trying to clear up the creep wave as much as he can.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna get the tower. Moo has ulti.
Alright, tornado? No? Going back in here again. That we're doing a little bit of damage. Crit just constantly feeding RTZ more life. I don't know, it's a hard knock life right now if you're Brax too.
He's not really able to do much. He wants to play the front line, but he can't at the same time because they have a lot of damage, magic damage, and Vessel. It's a solid timing for EG.
Oh, they managed to interrupt a little bit. They've got the Soulbind out. The science doesn't matter. Moose will fall. 9 is trying, but Brax is just not moving because he's stunned up. 9 will get taken down. Buyback coming out now from Moose. He's making his way back over, but I don't know what they can really do. Like, look at this. The only people that are fighting right now are the creeps and those little wolves that can't do anything, it feels like.
Yeah, Fear just straight up TP'd away from that. They decided to sack that, and Moo just went over with his Necros and he's dewarding now, so they didn't even want to fight that, which is pretty rough when you have a Lycan Invoker Quas Wex lineup. I mean, these are very early game heroes, so it feels bad to be in this position.
So what's the plan now? Because it feels like evil geniuses, you know, they're just grouping up for the most part. Arteezy obviously is very formidable. He's only got to really worry about 9. How do the business associates kind of shake things up a little bit? Because it definitely feels EG favored at this time.
They probably need to kill this Pugna in these fights. No matter if they go on somebody else, the Pugna's just gonna heal them and save them.
Boba? Roar? Looks like Moose is gonna be the sacrificial lamb here, so they'll follow up with the tornado. But yeah, just like that, that's a squashed bug. And they'll turn their attention to the mid tower.
So this crit build is really interesting. Not playing into this counter at all. He is maxing Decrepify and then Nether Ward second. Nether Blast is the last ability that he's maxing out. This is not something that you see on Pugna, ever. But I suppose this is the way to play against a counter. Maybe this is his take on this is how you play position for Pugna, is more of like a utility hero. Have more points in the Nether Ward, the slow.
It feels like his whole job has just been trying to just keep Arteezy as full health as possible. Like, look at this. You're just seeing this continuously happening. This little bit of, it's called life drain, but he's definitely not draining. I don't know, what would you turn this back around? But Brax now, oh, he's been caught out. He's silenced up. They have the vessel on him, and he's just looking not so healthy. Although it does manage to make it up over onto the high ground, so he's going to survive this time. But I don't think he'll be as lucky the next time around.
This is such an interesting take on Pugna. I really enjoy seeing stuff like this. Like he's basically just playing a healer.
Grapified, followed up with the jump forward, and Crit collects himself a kill.
Alright, Pugna 4 is definitely moving up in my tier list.
Well, like
I'm
you said, it's
popping
really
that bad boy to A
he's
tier.
being played as a healer. You know, they have other options. Brax is just dead. No buyback on him. Nine's gonna buy back. Moose will get taken down almost immediately. Moo chasing after Crit. He's had enough of this nonsense here. But while he's doing that, you can see the Wukong's command getting dropped down. Moo, he just really wants to get rid of Pugna. He's just so beelining to him, and now all he can do is just sit and wait. They can't get in there. They can't do anything.
So he needs to... The timing is really weird on Slykin versus Pugna when he's got max Decrep, because you need to take off the Decrepify, but by the time he casts it and then you micro the little archer to take off the Decrep, it's up again. It's a 6-second cooldown.
Yeah.
3.5 second duration. It's real rough out there.
Alright, if you had to rename Life Drain, right? So it's Life Drain when he's doing it towards his enemies. What do you call it when he's giving life? Uh-oh, Moose.
Life blow. But you
Yeah,
see,
I don't know what
trying
I
to
was
make it
expecting
sound-
from you.
I wasn't trying to make it sound like that. I was actually trying to do the opposite, because everybody says suck, and all of a sudden it's sounding worse. Alright, let me really think. Alright, 2 brain cells, let's go. You can do this.
You got this, Jenkins.
Life give. Ah, there
Life
you go.
give. Oh boy. Alright.
Easy.
Yep.
Hire me, Valve. I will bring you coffee.
Man, look how strong Arteezy is now. He's got the Radiance, he's got the Echo Saber, he's even got himself the Imp Claw. This guy is just dishing out damage right now. He's only died once this entire game thanks to Crit, I have a feeling, because Crit's been just constantly giving him the lives.
What do you do?
Well,
There's
you
nothing
try to
to
make
do
a
at this
smoke play
point.
from behind, possibly.
Yeah, I guess there's that. This is a desperation.
What else are you
Like,
gonna
there's-
do?
This is all you can do.
Yeah. Alright, let's see, we'll probably open up with 9, no? Shock getting thrown out. Follow up with that full bind, and now Brax and 9, they're stuck together, they cannot move. And that's gonna be a very dead 9, no buyback. Moose is gonna get taken down next. Bulba hunting around, searching for Yoya, he sees Brax, turns his attention now to Fear, he'll have to just deal with the Nature's Prophet. And just like that, they're gonna go right back into the base. The GG gets called, there's no point for Business Associates to continue playing at this point. Bit redundant there, but
Yeah, that's a stomp. That's that. Hard for them to do anything. I mean, I still have the same feelings that I did at the end of the draft, where I feel like we had just winning lanes from EG. They had 2 winning lanes, and the mid lane with the Ember versus Invoker matchup, both of those heroes just get levels and then roam. You're not sitting mid on Invoker dumping on an Ember for 10 minutes. Nobody does. Why would you pick Quas Wex an Invoker to sit in a lane? It's not like he farms quickly. So both of those heroes just roam, and then you have 2 winning lanes if you're EG. So I think, and maybe next game, either Business Associates pick better heroes for sacking lanes and then fighting, or they pick to have better lanes.
So,
I don't.
the Timbersaw and the Nyx Assassin was kind of confusing to me because Timbersaw really wants to get those levels. Nyx Assassin, he's a weaker laner. There's only so much that he can do. Plus, he was paired up against the Monkey King, and granted, Monkey King was the last pick for Evil Geniuses. It just happened to fit perfectly into the plan. Was that like a big problem right there? The fact that Arteezy was just getting way too much out of his lane because of the way that those heroes play?
I think so. I think, I mean, people like first phase Timber, right? So
Mhm.
It's not the absolute worst to pick a Timber last and then have it get countered like that. There have
Mhm.
been worse things that happen, but I suppose the problem is when the counter to the hero that you're last picking also is really good against all of the other heroes on your team other than the Invoker. Like Monkey King is fine against natures. You can clear all the summons. It's good against Lycan. Once again, you can clear the summons. Nyx Assassin does very little to a Monkey King. It's a melee hero. And then you win either side lane that you put the Monkey King in. And I don't just mean in the laning phase, because the laning phase is one thing, but in Dota, there are 3 lanes. Even outside of the laning phase, if Monkey King enters into a lane and there is a Lycan there, Lycan either needs to ult or to leave. And that's not good to have that matchup in the game. So I guess the problem in terms of drafting would probably be that the hero that countered the hero that you're last picking is just so good in the game already.
Mhm. So maybe just drafted themselves a little bit into a corner, forgetting that the Monkey King just does so much for EG.
I think so. I think maybe more of a traditional offlaner would have been good from Brax. Like maybe some axe, maybe
Okay.
some centaur that can just cut and kind of, because when Timber falls behind, man, he is just utterly useless, completely useless from behind.
It definitely felt very bad to be a Timbersaw in that game, but we do have a best of 3 series with Evil Geniuses and Business Associates, so we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have game number 2.